What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome into CHGO Bulls Postgame, coming to you live from our studios here, West Loop, downtown Chicago. I'm Peck, Bulls _Peck, Big Dave, Bow, BAWL Sports, Will, the GOAT, the Quaff, Gottlieb, Will _Gottlieb. Our pal and producer on the controls is Joey Spathis. He's at Joey Spathis. We are CHGO Bulls.
Joey Wrinkles.
Here to chat with you, our fellow diehard Bulls fans.
You wrinkled.
Ow! What wrinkles?
Yeah, shirt.
Oh, the shirt wrinkles.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I thought you were talking about like old person skin wrinkles.
No,
so
that's Trojan.
This is a young buck right here.
No, that's young bug, young strapping.
No wrinkles.
Joey Spathis right there.
But
man.
there is a bit of wrinkle in the shirt.
Yeah.
Sure.
No,
Joe, do you own an ironing board and an iron?
Seriously, you don't own an iron?
I respect that.
Wow, I don't. you should own an iron, man. Yeah, bro. Everybody got an iron.
I am a 24-year-old kid.
I
don't have an iron.
I respect it.
And I work in a sports media company, and this is the last place I would expect to get flack for having some damn wrinkles on my shirt.
I stand with you, Joe.
I'd stand against you right now. You should know you come on this show, you're going to catch something, sir.
Well, I don't come on the camera, even though I did last week with the wrinkled shirt.
You were moving furniture. You were on camera.
All right.
Try again.
Dave, can I tell you something?
Please.
As I stand in solidarity with my friend Joey Spathis.
Okay.
You don't have one either. He doesn't have one either.
You don't have an iron? So, your 24 thing is out the window.
Why would I had one.
What you have an iron for?
Because I wear hoodies, jeans, and friggin' tank tops to work.
So you don't iron anything you wear?
When I do occasionally need to get my handful of collared shirts and or dress slacks cleaned or ironed, I take them to CD Price One or whatever friendly neighborhood dry cleaner that I go to.
And that's CD.
Yes, it's CD. Price. Yeah, CD One Price.
Yes, correct.
I'm like, what? Why have an ironing board that takes up space? Why have an iron? When ironing is an annoying.
You don't have to have an ironing board, but an iron at least you should have.
Yeah.
What
iron
about
your
a steamer?
jeans?
Who irons their jeans?
Everybody iron my jeans today. Yes, you iron your jeans when they're wrinkled. You iron them.
Joey, poll time. Do you iron your jeans?
This man said
because
poll
anyone
time.
else saying yes, I iron my jeans, psych ward for you.
Joey, he asked you a question.
No, he's asking me to make a poll.
He's asking you to make a poll to see who
I want to ask our fellow Bulls fans who irons their jeans.
Why would he be asking Joey
jeans?
sweatpants what he does with his jeans? I wear sweatpants.
You do wear sweatpants. Sun's up, though.
I'm not the right person.
This is true.
Dude, do you even iron your sweatpants?
No, don't iron your sweatpants. You should not iron your sweatpants. Well, Brian says he irons his sweatpants.
Did the Bulls play today?
That is psychotic behavior. They did, Will. The Bulls fell to the Rockets 127-117. Thank you all Bulls fans for hanging out with us tonight. Ayo Dosunmu, career high points for the second time in the last 3 games. He drops 35 on the Rockets, 13 of 18 from the field. My goodness, 5 of 6 from downtown. It's not enough, and it's probably not enough because his one of his ride or die teammates on every night is DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan, king of the fourth, hero of the fourth quarter, clutch player of the year candidate, maybe even leading candidate.
Yes.
Got himself into a bit of a skirmish with Dillon Brooks, wannabe tough guy, fake tough guy, and they both got themselves ejected, so there was no DeMar clutch opportunity.
Yes.
And Bulls lose.
That was a quiet 35 from Ayo. I was surprised.
It was.
That he ended up with that. When he went to the free throw line, they showed his numbers, and he had 32. I was like, I was shocked, honestly.
I was surprised by that because to me it felt like he was the only one that could score.
Yeah, he did. It did. It feels like that.
Kobe, a little bit of rust. Obviously, coming back from the injury was not quite himself. I think he only played like 29 minutes, which is about 10 minutes, 20 minutes below his season average. 13 points for him. But not quite fully back yet, and obviously to be expected. Caruso was like scoring a little bit. Vooch, I think, was having a little bit of trouble against some of those smaller lineups where they were really crashing him. And obviously without DeRozan, like there was nobody that was really putting pressure on the Rockets to score except for Ayo. So I thought it was a great game from him. 35 points, barely missed a shot, 13 of 18.
Yeah.
Got to the free throw line for 4 attempts. He's just been so impressive lately, especially getting downhill, which I think is kind of the key for him as far as what he and Billy Donovan have been talking about in terms of his progress, which is putting pressure on the defense, getting to the rim, creating closeout opportunities for his teammates, scoring, kicking it out, whatever it may be, but really being the guy who, with his speed and with his aggression, can put some real pressure on the defense.
Yeah, like it's just been fun to watch him do this though. Like time after time, I'm interested to see him play it with Kobe because I think, Matt, when we did the podcast, we talked about how those guys both play kind of the same role and are interchangeable. So one can play shooting guard, one can play point guard, one can play point guard, one can play shooting guard. So they can switch it up. Feels like Ayo right now at that point guard position has been paying dividends as far as the scoring is concerned. So allowing him to handle the ball, I'm sure maybe that part played into also why Kobe came off the bench. He didn't want to disrupt what Ayo was doing. You know what I mean? And how good he's looking right now.
Presumably the minutes restriction too, although we didn't get specific word about that.
Sure, but he's just been great though, like in that role. And at this point in time in the season, you don't want to really disturb the apple cart, you know what I mean, with a guy going like this. So I can understand it, but yeah, Kobe obviously is going to be in the back of that starting lineup. But it's interesting to see if Billy's going to put him at that 1 or the 2 because Ayo is cooking at the 1.
I mean, it's been wonderful to see what Ayo's done in this stretch of games with Kobe resting that hip. Like again, to your point, Will, about Ayo getting out in transition yet again tonight and finding those opportunities for himself to just beat the Rockets. And the Bulls lost fast break points tonight, 24-13, I think, or 23-14. And I feel like you could just also call that Rockets 23, Ayo Dosunmu 14. The Rockets won fast break. Yeah, man. Because that aside from not having a lot of help for Ayo out there, Kobe was a little rusty coming off the bench. DeMar gets ejected on a night when he was only 4 of 15 from the field when he got ejected. Yeah. The Bulls just got cooked in transition all night. Like embarrassing stuff. We know that the Bulls have not been a great transition defense team at any point this season. Some nights they hold their own, and I think our pal Clem French Bulls TV in the comments mentioned this earlier, whether it's the Rockets, Orlando, OKC, any of these young teams that love to just run up and down and play a lot of fast basketball, the Bulls struggle against them. Yeah. Because the Bulls are like, wait, you want us to run for the whole game? The Bulls got beat in transition by 80-year-old Jeff Green. There's no excusing that. No. But to me, it was one of the clear staples of why the Bulls lost this game. The Rockets just kept running right past them.
Yeah, man, like literally right past them. The one play where Dillon Brooks literally ran right past Vooch. And we're like, wait, he's not fast. He doesn't have any crossovers, any spin moves in his game. He has nothing that says, hey, I'm getting to the bucket around anybody. I don't care who it is. But he did it against Vooch. He said, oh, you're going this way? Right this way, sir. Let me show you to your seat. Let me get you some popcorn. Like, it was crazy. Like, they just continued to do it quarter after quarter after quarter after quarter. They just kept running against them. We talked about this at length in pregame, and it was the one worry I had because this is why the Bulls struggle against those young teams. They run them to death, man, and the Bulls forget how to do that. It's why Ayo Dosunmu is a one-man fast break because nobody else is running with Ayo Dosunmu. He's the only one running and doing his things out there, man. So, no, it was frustrating to watch, and that's why they went down so early, is they were just getting ran to death, and then they couldn't get a rebound for some reason. Guys smaller than them were just more active than Vooch and a little more aggressive than Vooch going in and getting the paint. Drummond had his issues too, trying to get rebounds as well. But, I mean, they just did everything that they are supposed to do to win this kind of basketball game. They made all the mistakes in the world. Like, the Rockets made a ton of mistakes, all right? To top it off, put a cherry on top of it, had an 8-second call at the end of the game, like just to put a cherry on their mistakes.
What did you say during the game? It was like a young team.
Yeah.
They were just doing young team stuff.
They were just doing young team stuff. I'm sure I said another word, but they were doing young team stuff out there, and that's exactly what you saw. But the one thing about a young team also is they have no fear because they don't know any better. So they're launching from anywhere. Like you saw Smith Jr. just launching from anywhere. It didn't matter.
He was trying to shoot himself back in the game.
Oh, my God. Jalen Green as well. But, it's Jalen Green. So we get it. But, yeah, they got beat on by a young team who was faster and more hungry than they
were. I want to touch on the transition stuff here for a second too, because to me, Billy kind of talks about this a lot, but it's like these momentum swinging plays, right? And that's why the Bulls got down by 19 in the second quarter, or the end of the first quarter, start of the second quarter, whatever it was. And credit to them for clawing their way back out of it. But it was at a certain point a margin that they couldn't overcome. They were fighting their way back this whole time, and it was just missed shots turning into transition opportunities where they were just running up the gut and laying it in, and now you're taking it out underneath the basket and you're walking it up and you're getting into your offense and you're trying to set something up, and then you either make it or miss it, but they're running on the next play. And when you just get a couple of those, and now like the momentum is swinging in the Rockets' direction, they're getting stops and running, the Bulls are taking it out underneath the basket and slowing things down, and it just really did not play to their strength. So that's the kind of way that I think the Rockets have been really successful lately as they've moved towards a smaller lineup in the absence of Şengün. They're running a ton. They've got Amen Thompson playing the 4, whether it's back cuts or slipping out of screens. Like they're even moving quickly and playing fast in the half court too. I think that was just tough for the Bulls to defend. They ended up throwing the 2 big lineup at it for a bit, and that actually really worked and stemmed the tide. But ultimately, they couldn't really get back in control of this game because there was going to be a point where the Rockets then got loose again and they were running in transition.
Yeah.
Brian in the comments said the Bulls do not have the competitive drive to match the Rockets in transition. South Garzon pointing out that this came on the heels of a 2-day off break. And I think that has kind of been a recurring theme. When the Bulls have had 2 consecutive days off, they kind of come out flat a little bit after that 2-day break.
True.
Larry, continuity. Brian, competitive. Alexander saying, love to watch the growth of Kobe, Ayo, Julian, Dillon, even P. Will when he was healthy, but take safety valve DeMar off this team, and we're clearly, at best, a 9th seed. Much love to you, Alexander. Actually, what it is that with safety valve DeMar, at best, they're a 9th seed.
They're a 9th seed.
Because that's the reality we're all miserably living through right now. Chase and Ashlyn hanging out in the comments. Bottom line, DeMar cannot get tossed with a quarter and a half to go. That was ball game. We win tonight if he doesn't. I also saw Chase and Ashlyn throwing usual dose of blame at Billy Donovan for not having his guys ready tonight. But hey, Chase and Ashlyn, I can't help but notice that in all of the comments you've made so far, none of them are about the fact that the Bulls are not 500 right now. Why aren't the Bulls 500 right now? Could have sworn that was happening. Didn't you tell me that was going to happen?
Look at how happy he is.
Victory! I told you. I tried to tell you. I hate to tell him, Will. I really do. I really hate to tell him. I hate to tell you I told you so, except for the fact that I love to tell Bulls fans I told you so.
Will said they were winning tonight. I said they were going to lose.
That's true.
So, yeah. He doesn't get that.
I did say they were going to
win. My goodness. Well, I mean, speaking of the DeMar thing, we can touch on that briefly and then we'll go to break. But the DeMar thing, I saw Bulls fans on Twitter upset about it. Like, why would you get ejected for that? Like, Dillon Brooks is a clown. Dillon Brooks instigated, whatever. I got to say, as much as I love DeMar and come to DeMar's defense often, he body checked Jalen Green out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Maybe he was frustrated for not getting a call down at the other end, the previous play, but DeMar just straight up body checked Jalen Green.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite Giannis on Dunleavy Jr., but it was close.
He put one on.
And then Dillon Brooks came up from behind DeMar to say, hey, man, let's talk about how that wasn't cool. He grabs DeMar's arm. DeMar swings around and catches Dillon Brooks in the chin with his elbow.
Yeah.
DeMar gets ejected, and Dillon also gets ejected for sort of escalating the situation.
Yeah.
I think the refs took way too long to review that. I swear it was like an hour. But I think that the right call was ejecting DeMar and ejecting Dillon Brooks. And DeMar started it.
Yeah. I didn't. Yeah. You eject DeMar. I was going to say I didn't have a problem with him ejecting, but yeah, I did have a problem with it because I didn't want DeMar ejected. But he should have been. He did it. He threw him, he bumped him, and put him down. Shout out to Jalen Green for the incredible acting gigs as well on the floor. I thought he was done for the year. Like, it was amazing.
He looked like he was in pain.
Oh man, he was right back up. You know what I mean? So shout out to him for that. But Yeah, man. I still right now honestly don't know really what triggered it. I don't think any one player triggered it. I think the referees kind of triggered it because he was sick that he wasn't getting any of these fouls. I'm sure it also had to do with the bad shooting performance that he was putting on as well. But yeah, man, like he just really reacted to that. And then Dillon Brooks, of all people, tried to come up, hey man, protect my team, you know what I mean? And then, hey, whoa, you strong. Your hands are strong, sir. So, yeah, he found out the hard way, and sometimes that's how it is. And, yeah, DeMar got ejected for that, man. I thought it was going to happen. I didn't want it to happen, but there it was.
Yeah, Stacey and Adam kept on saying, like, the refs were to blame for this. It was definitely a bit of a physical game. That has been the trend around the NBA recently, is that the refs are letting teams play a little bit. But, like, DeMar had 9 free throw attempts in 24 minutes.
Yeah.
He was on pace to, like, really get to the line a ton.
Yeah,
and
no, he had
calls.
7 free throws at halftime.
So yeah, to me, that was like pretty out of line by DeMar. Clearly a frustration foul. And like I said this as we were watching, like if it was the other way around and Kobe had gotten body checked by somebody, like Stacey and Adam would have been really pissed off at whoever from the Bulls for not sticking up for their guy. So I didn't have a problem with Dillon Brooks. I thought it was a little strange that he got ejected for a technical foul 1, not a technical 2.
Yeah.
I think there's like an escalation thing, and probably the refs were just trying to like put an end to it
because he's Dillon. That's exactly why he got ejected.
But yeah, I thought it was kind of a easy call to throw DeMar after that.
Yeah. He got a Draymond call. Like, honestly, that's what that was. That was, you're Dillon Brooks. Yeah, you got to go, bro.
And,
sorry.
you know, I mean, come on, man. You have to know that Dillon Brooks is Dillon Brooks.
Yeah. It's Dillon Brooks.
I mean, like, I would have loved to see DeMar just tear Dillon Brooks' head off. just go at it.
Because I've been ejected for more games than just tonight.
I mean, sure, why not?
Part of Matt's master plan.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not hearing him.
You're right, Jason Ashton. I'm not a Bulls fan. I just dedicate my entire life to them. Yeah. That's the only reason I don't want them to get to 500, because I'm not a true Bulls fan. 34 and 36, so close, so damn close,
yet so far.
Forgive me and some of us other Bulls fans who are looking at the big picture while y'all are rooting for 500.
Yeah, big picture of what?
Holding people accountable for the fact that questioning whether or not the Bulls can claw their way back to 500 finally
you can
is
still
an
hold them
acceptable result.
While they actually go to a play-in. That can still happen.
I disagree.
We're doing it now. What are we talking about?
Well, there's holding people accountable from a media standpoint, from a fan base standpoint, and then there's people being held accountable by the people who put them in their employ.
Oh, well, you know that shit ain't gonna happen no one way or another, sir.
And I'm not allowed to rail against it anyway.
You can rage against all the machines. Is all I'm saying.
Do you know me, Dave?
Yes. Yeah. That's what I said. Rage against them all. Rage against all the machines, but it's okay to root for these Bulls to win as well. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a big picture aspect as well.
Indeed. All right, let's take our first break. We'll come back. Plenty more to get to in tonight's game. I feel like we got to at least touch on Dillon a bit more, because he had himself a nice game.
Yes, he did.
He did.
He did.
He did.
He did.
And whatever else is on your mind out there in Bulls Nation, let us know. Shoot us some stuff in the comments, questions.
I don't know any, but I'm just saying.
Anything you want. Throw us a super chat if you're feeling so inclined. You're feeling generous tonight. And make sure you also hit that like while we're reading these ads. 2 things at once. Simultaneousness. Big Dave, what's up first tonight?
Oh, man, I really want to say top of the morning.
Oh,
but I can't. It's not St. Patty's Day anymore, guys.
I mean, you could.
I could.
Give the people what they want.
You know what? That's fair. That's fair. It's brought to you by Manscaped. I tried to do it without laughing. All right. This season, make sure you're grooming your carpets and your drapes. In the leader of below the waist grooming, check out that winter bush. Clear out, that winter bush with Manscaped Lawnmower 5.0 and watch your confidence bloom like springtime flowers. Embrace the season and join the 10 million. That's a lot of people. 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with our special offer. Go to manscaped.com. Use the code BULLS for 20% off and get yourself free shipping on top of that. After using Manscaped, guess what? you'll call it spring fever, because that time, love is in the air in springtime, man. Most people want to get married in the spring because it's the start of something anew. Quaff be quaffing in springtime.
It's the spring quaff
it's a beautiful thing out there, man. And so, since you want to be right, you want to be properly groomed, you want to be correct, you want to come correctified. I just made that up. But you want to do it for you and your significant other. And the place to do it is Manscaped. Matt uses it. I use it. It's always there. It's always ready. Keep it right on the charger. Take it off. Gone. You good. This is a beautiful thing, man. Whether you're looking to craft your signature look or clean up that neckline, which I also use it for, man. Sometimes my barber forgets right here, this part down there. He forgets it right there because that's where the bib is usually when he's, cutting my beard.
Yeah.
I go home.
Very clean neckline, may I say.
Oh, he paid attention this time. He was on it, man. But I was ready. The Manscaped Lawnmower 5.0
gotta be ready.
Was ready for me, baby. So if you want to do one of those things, there's always the right tool for the job with Manscaped, y'all. Get 20% off and free shipping with that code BULLS at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code BULLS at manscaped.com. Nothing like a little spring cleaning in your pants. That's literally what it says.
I love it. People in the comments also validating the greatness of Manscaped. Brian saying Manscaped, an amazing product to have. I have this product. It does absolute wonders. Bull don't lie. Saying, remember, ladies, a man with Manscaped is a green flag.
Come on. Come on.
You know what else is a great green flag?
Talk to me.
Putting green money in your pocket with Prize Picks.
That's a good thing.
Prize Picks, the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. They are the easiest and most exciting way to play DFS, if that's your jam. It's just you against the numbers. Instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros, sharks, maybe Dillon Brooks, you just pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 different player stat projections and then watch the winnings roll in. We are fully in to March Madness.
And we in there.
The tourney.
Swimwear.
It's happening. As we speak, it's happening.
Spathis.
We started at 11 a.m. Central Time today, and there is still basketball.
Illinois.
I love it.
It's awesome going on. Kentucky.
Prize Picks loves it too. Ooh, tough day for Calipari. But that means the biggest moments in college basketball are here, so be a part of the action on Prize Picks for both men's and women's college basketball. And speaking of women's college hoops, shout out to Prize Picks, who have a great offer going on right now through this Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. They have a free square on Caitlin Clark and her over more than or less than on points at 0.5. We all are familiar with the amount of bucket getting Caitlin Clark does.
Yeah.
That is essentially what Prize Picks is doing, is giving you a free square in your picks to build.
That's awesome.
So check that out. Pick the over, just a suggestion. Pick more than, just a suggestion, on Caitlin Clark at 0.5 points scored before Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern. And let that start building your parlay.
So let's just do it. Let's go on. This is my actual Prize Picks account.
This is Joey's Prize Picks.
Legitimately, I am logged into Prize Picks right now, and let's cook something up here. Let's cook something up here.
Chef Joey.
Because I am thinking, I've got Zach Edey on the player prop tomorrow. I've got him on the player pool, so I'm going to go more 26 points against Grambling.
Okay.
I also really like. Where's Jacoby Walter? Here's Jacoby Walter, Baylor, and let's get somebody from Bama because Bama scores 80 points a game. Do they have Mark Sears? Yes. Okay, let's go more on all those guys.
Okay,
should we go flex play? What do you guys think? We have
what you think? You
want to go power play? We have to hit all 3 or flex 2 out of 3?
Let's go flex.
All right, we'll go flex play.
Flex.
I'm going to put my entire bankroll, which is $6.
Yeah.
And we are in.
Big spender.
Wow. First ever Prize Picks made on CHGO Bulls.
Look at that. Love it. Love it.
Amazing work,
Although,
Joey.
I wish you the best of luck with Zach Edey in that pick, but
you just don't believe in them.
Purdue's choking, man.
It's
what they do.
It's hard to argue.
We love you, Braggs.
Love you very much.
Die-hard Boilermaker fan.
Yes, sir.
Purdue gets to the tourney as a high seed, and they choke. They're a 1 seed this year.
They are 1.
You know the choke's coming. You just do. That's what they do. And I say that as a quasi-Boilermaker fan myself. Never get my hopes up, but I do get my hopes up, and I get money in my pocket with Prize Picks.
That's right.
It's really easy. Joey just showed you how easy it is.
Thank you, Joey.
You can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks, and you can do it that flex way that Joey showed you. Nice. You can turn $10 into $1,000.
What?
And you can mix and match stuff from NBA games, NHL games, and yes, of course, college hoops. Woo. Today on Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Go to prizepicks.com/CHGO and use code CHGO for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/CHGO. Promo code CHGO. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. It's as easy as picking a fight with Dillon Brooks.
Oh, that's simple.
It is really easy.
Who's easier to pick a fight with, Dillon Brooks or Draymond Green?
Oh, that's a really tough. Yeah. My instinct is to say yes.
To pick a fight with? Draymond Green will pick a fight with you.
Right.
Yeah, but so will Dillon Brooks. He'll do that too.
I think Dillon Brooks is less likable.
Less likely to be able to
Draymond, you could at least point and say, well, all this crap you've done, and it's done something. You've won. So maybe that edge has been part of your game. Dillon Brooks just like, dude, you're just annoying. You're just passing my side right now. And I like Dillon Brooks, but
but before we dive back to tonight's game, I did want to touch on this because I saw somebody mention it in the comments, and I know Bulls fans were flying around some wild takes about it over the last day.
Okay.
So I feel like we should address it. And the comment said, random, but supposedly Lonzo's camp is looking for his return to the court next year. I think that came as an aggregation from Casey Johnson's mailbag that came out earlier today when someone asked about Lonzo and his situation. And Casey Johnson said, and I'm paraphrasing here, there are people within Lonzo's camp who are cautiously optimistic and see him returning to the court next season. Mm-hmm. And then Casey actually had a quote tweet of NBA Central, because NBA Central, the account, just had a quote and it was like via Casey Johnson.
I remember.
Like, Lonzo's coming back, y'all, basically. And he said, aggregating police here, if you put the full context in, the immediate following sentence was, but let's all remember, he still isn't anywhere near playing in 5-on-5 or taking any kind of physical contact in an active basketball situation. Mm-hmm. Grain of salt. Mm-hmm. Big, fat grain of salt. But because NBA Twitter is NBA Twitter, a few different aggregators saw that and went wild with it, and Bulls fans were like, oh my God, Lonzo!
Selective hearing.
Yes. Like, again, all Bulls fans should be and probably are rooting for Lonzo to come back.
Sure.
I don't think that what we heard from Casey in that mailbag answer today changes anything about where they are.
They're optimistic, not to say that it's going to happen or it's not, but they're hopeful.
Yeah.
Right.
They're hopeful you can keep going.
Yeah, and that's I don't think you should look into anything beyond that.
Yeah.
Like them just saying, hey, we're optimistic. Like, you see what he's doing now. He's getting some dunks. Like, great. Like, I can't read anything else more into that stuff, man, because nothing else has been said is going to happen and nothing else has happened.
Really, until he's playing like 5-on-5.
Yeah, yeah.
Or even like, we're getting updates out of his workouts. Like, I don't know. I think it's just too far away right now to really know anything. And the fact that he's been out so long, that even if everything goes perfectly and it's ahead of schedule and he's feeling great and everything's like, it's going to be a very slow, careful process because it's 2.5 years removed now.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's going to take a lot of time still.
It's a long time, guys.
If it even happens.
Yes, yes.
Garcon in the comments saying, I'm so hot right now. I need some Terry talk ASAP. Big Dave.
Terry talk is what you want. Terry talks.
You have some thoughts on your sweet special boy, Dalen Terry, who played 17 minutes and was a Bulls best +9 off the bench tonight?
One of the most controlled Dalen Terry games I've seen in a while.
Except for when he tried to pick a fight and it was awesome.
No, that's part of the game.
Yeah.
That's part of his control.
That's the controlled chaos of Dalen Terry.
Exactly, man. I appreciated what I saw from him tonight. He knew when to make the move. He knew when to make the pass. He still makes the wrong crossover with. I honestly, you probably know a better term for it, but he sometimes does a crossover I hate where he's got the entire lane open. If he just swings it and crosses it and goes left to the bucket, he will cross over and go baseline and make it a little tougher on himself. when it's not really open to him. And I've seen him do that a lot. And I don't know why he does it like that, but that's what he's been doing. But regardless of that fact, because what he did, man, because even you said, nice pass to Caruso.
Yeah. If
he had literally just cut and went to, the lane was wide open. Mm-hmm. So I wanted him to go to the lane. But yes, it was a good pass. But I thought he made it harder because he kind of crowded that area that Caruso was in, just trying to get him the ball. But that's nitpicking, honestly, because I really thought he played very, very well, very controlled. I loved him on the boards as well. We have 7 rebounds out there. I love the 6 points that he had, the assist also.
5.
Yeah. Like he really gets out there.
He's like flirting with like poor man's triple-double territory.
Yes, yes, he really gets out there and affects the game. And I just like the fact that it was so controlled and it was noticeable and not in a negative way. It was just noticeable that he was playing basketball in a really good way. His layup finishes are getting better when he gets to the rim. Before, when he gets to the rim, I would just see him not know exactly what to do once he got there. But now it feels like he's getting a little more control with that once he gets there. And that's great to see. He wasn't taking, all the threes in the world. He was putting the ball on the floor and trying to get to the paint. And for me, that meant something to do it against a young and athletic team like the Rockets, who have been playing really great defense also. Mm-hmm. So for me, that stuff kind of meant something to see him do that. And the fact that the time that he was doing it in. So all of that said, I thought, honestly, it was his best, I'm not going to say best game, but his most controlled game that I've seen him play in a minute.
Definitely one of his better games. The offensive rebounding, he had a nice tip in there at the end.
Yeah, he did.
It's like everything that Billy has said about Patrick in the past, as far as like playing aggressively, it's not like you need to like have the ball in your hands and like clear out and like take 2 dribbles and pull up for a jump shot. It's like when the driving lane is there, you attack it and you go to the basket and you make a play, whether it's for yourself or a spray out. I think we saw that from Dillon. You mentioned the driving. Like, to me, I think one of the things I've really learned from this team this year is the emphasis on understanding and learning how to attack closeouts well. And for a guy like Dillon, who's not generating a lot of closeouts, like his shot right now is not at a threat where teams really are concerned about it and want to close out hard and run him off the line. So he doesn't have a ton of experience doing that. As he gets better at shooting, he'll draw more attention. Teams will shift over to him harder, and then he can use his ball handling, his passing to get into the lane and make plays. And I think it's just an experience thing. It's a reps thing. It's understanding which way, depending on where the foot is. Is it like coming at your hip side? Is it coming at your weak side? Is it like a high closeout? Is it a short closeout? Mm-hmm. There's all these different things that go into it. And I think he'll get much better at reading those. That's really, I think, what Iowa's growth has stemmed from this year is understanding how to get into the lane more. Mm-hmm. And so I'm hopeful for Dillon that way, but it really does. All of it depends on, can he generate those closeouts by being a shooting threat?
Yes.
And that's the big piece for him, because we see the passing, we see the finishing, we see the facilitation, we see the smarts, the aggression, the IQ, the offensive rebounding, all that stuff is there, but the shooting threat, whether or not he's making it, if he can draw that help, it's going to unlock all those things.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Jeff Rocks in the comments saying Ayo should be Dillon's shooting coach. I mean, Ayo was 5 of 6 from downtown tonight. He's been stroking it very well recently.
Yes.
Peter Patton, theoretically, the Bulls hired a shooting coach, and some of these guys have learned how to shoot.
Yeah.
So that's real. I think I did see. I believe it was your guy Cody Westerland, GOAT, who had a tweet. I think after Dillon missed a 3 at some point tonight, and he said, "If I'm Dillon Terry, I am working on shooting and shooting and shooting and only shooting this offseason. Like, I am getting up hundreds of shots a day because, as you were just explaining, Will, if Dillon wants to take some of the usefulness of the tools he has on offense with his playmaking, distributing, transition stuff, he has to be a threat behind the 3-point line to really trigger in the usefulness of those other skills he has." And I believe Cody had it that he is, as of at some point in tonight's game, 24% from 3 on the season.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just not. He is not a threat.
He's a non-shooter, and he's worked really hard on it. I watch him shoot a ton, and there's still a lot of inconsistencies with it. Yeah. Whether it's the height of the jump, the base, how far his legs are apart, where his elbow comes in, where his offhand is. The follow through, like there's still inconsistencies, and he's working on it. He's working hard on it.
Yeah.
Peter Patton's working hard on it with him, and he's gotten a lot better. Like I want that to be like kind of the big focus right now is that he has improved so much from last year.
Yeah.
And so I think he'll keep getting better, but it's when you basically, not to say he's like reconstructed his form, because that's not the case, but when you have so much to work on, there's so many different things that you're processing in real time in these games when you have a split second to decide whether you're going to shoot the ball, and it's in rhythm. And so it's a really tough thing to do, and he's gotten a lot better. He's going to continue to get better, and I really do think that's going to unlock a lot for him. But I also think that's what holds him back at times.
And I won't say reconstruct. I'll say retool. He had to retool some things, and I'm glad you said that, because I don't want that to get lost in this. Like, he is definitely putting the work in.
Absolutely.
Like, he is really, really trying to become a better shooter. And for me, it's showing from the form standpoint. It's showing. And now it has to go to the confidence standpoint. Then it has to go to the mental standpoint. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there are steps in it that he has to get to before he just becomes comfortable with it. Ayo is probably your greatest example of that. You know what I mean? He kind of took to it a little faster because Ayo Dosunmu. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he didn't have as much to rework.
Correct, exactly. They didn't have to break his form down or anything. Like, no, keep the form that you have and keep shooting like that. Dillon, they had to retool it a little bit, start over a little bit, find out what spot he's comfortable from also, and then go from there, and start. So it's not starting from scratch, but it is starting from 2. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a work in progress, and I'm just glad that he does not mind the work.
Our guy French Bulls TV said, had we won, Terry was goon of the night.
Without question, he was goon of the night. Absolutely.
There's your confirmation right there, French Bulls TV.
Absolutely. Terry was goon.
Gino Moore saying DT played great. I think it was his best overall game I've ever seen of him, if I'm being honest. That might be a bit of a stretch. I feel like I've seen better nights from Dillon, but I mean, he was really strong tonight. As I said, he was a team best +9 in 17 minutes off the bench. Chris Davis asking, why did Billy take Dillon out in the 4th? And I think you raised your eyebrow at the same time when Dillon got subbed out in the 4th.
Yeah,
and I think it was after he did have that like blown defensive assignment on that little flip shot from Jock Landale when he was just wide open in the paint. I think maybe that was the reason for that. I don't know. But, again.
No, because remember I said, I was like, why are you taking him out? And then I saw the play and I was like,
oh, yeah, that's why you took him out.
I was like, all right, I got it. All right, I understand.
That was Billy saying one of those, Dillon, come sit next to me moments.
Come holler at me for a second. I get it. It's all right, man. He played well.
Exactly. But Billy Donovan is a, piece of trash coach. We all know that, right? He's just the worst. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's a terrible coach.
Yeah.
He's
not trash. He's not
Shout
trash.
out Daniel Gafford. He's got some things he can work on. Did you see our boy Gustavo try to get us to watch that dumbass monologue?
I felt opposite of it. I was happy he put it back up. It brought back great memories.
I mean, great memories. But
it really did. I
don't need that face in my Twitter feed.
That was one of our proudest moments on television ever. It was that thing right there. A lot of people, and then the comments I got and the responses I got, people just talking about how they remember that. And Pat Designer, shout out to him.
Shout out, Pat.
Was telling me, he was like, man, dude, I laughed so hard when I watched y'all do that, man. He was like, I laughed so damn hard, man. So it brought back good memories for people.
According to certain people, we were robbed of a local Emmy for that segment.
Yes. I'm telling you, man. We should have had it, bro. We was on. We was on it.
I mean,
it's all good.
I guess you got to give some credit to the Ballhead Menace for saying something that ridiculously stupid.
So ridiculous.
Let's take our second break. We'll come back, get to more thoughts on tonight's Bulls lost the Rockets. Whatever else is on your mind out there in Bulls Nation, whatever you want us to talk about, let us know. Hit that like button while we're doing it. You know what to do. Do it for our friend Troll Joe.
I didn't know that.
Make sure you also subscribe.
I'm sorry.
It's not fun.
Tonight's postgame brought to you by our friends at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Are you in the market for a new vehicle by chance?
Maybe.
If you are, we've got great news for you because our partner Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Fox Lake is celebrating the Jeep Celebration event all month long. And you know what that means. You'll be able to rave about their savings on a wide selection of inventory. For a limited time, lease a new 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo Altitude for $439 a month for 39 months.
Ooh.
That is such an incredible deal.
Not bad at all.
If that Grand Cherokee isn't big enough for you, wink, wink, check out the third row of seats and lease a new 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited L for $479 a month for 39 months. Deals on deals. At Ray CDJR, you're always able to shop one of Chicagoland's largest inventories and drive home with more money in your pocket than you would expect. Thanks to that raised price promise, the price you see on the website is the price you pay when you go to the dealership. If anything, they'll find you even more savings. Don't miss out. Shop great deals all month long. Save big because Ray ACDJR makes buying a new vehicle more affordable than ever. But that's not all. Just for listening, you can get a free oil change.
Free.
That's right, Joe. I said free. Free oil change when you mention CHGO at their service center or mention CHGO when you book online on their site at raycdjr/service. But you have to schedule it before April 1st. Do it. So if you're in the market for a new vehicle, you've got to check out the team at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. They're the only team we'd recommend. Visit them today on Route 12 in Fox Lake. For more information, visit RayCDJR in Fox Lake or raycdjr.com. Serving the community since 1963.
Troll Joe, what time is it? You shouldn't have to worry when you're buying tickets to your next big event. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets to all your sports, music, comedy, and theater events nearest you with killer last-minute deals. All-in prices, views from your seat, and their best price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying those tickets. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the start of the event and even an hour after it starts. It is not the place, no sir. It is the place to find last-minute seats. Find exclusive flash deals and sponsored deals on tickets for football, hockey, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and much, much more. And with zone deals, you pick the section, and Game Time is going to do the selecting for an average savings of, drum roll my bread, 18%. And the Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price. So go and take the guesswork out of buying those tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use that code CHGO. Get yourself $20 off your first purchase.
Terms apply. Terms apply.
That's CHGO. Get yourself $20 off your first purchase.
Terms apply. Terms apply.
Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Because Lawrence, what time is it?
Who?
You forgot the who,
We
but
were looking for who?
we were looking for, I'm sorry, we were looking for who. Game Time who. I want to say something very quickly. I just saw the Dallas Mavericks won their game. It looks like
Did Gafford start a new field goal streak?
They tied an NBA record for second most dunks in a single game.
And how many
Now,
of those dunks were Daniel Gafford?
I mean, I don't know. I'm going to take a guess, though, because Daniel Gafford had 24 points on 10 of 11 shooting.
So I'm
going to guess he has something to do with it.
So you had 10 dunks.
Yeah, I'm going to guess he has something to do with that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an awesome record to break.
Yes, it is. Oh, I can't wait to watch these highlights. Oh, man, give me a Daniel Gafford highlight reel just on loop.
Connie Hawkins all up in this business.
Oh, man, Daryl Dawkins everywhere you look. It's a beautiful situation. I'm so happy for him.
Where's that sale?
Put that one up, Gustavo. We want that back. Give me that one. Daniel Gafford. What a great day.
Just the greatest. Do you assume that Billy is just going to go right back, throw Kobe back in that starting lineup in their next game on Saturday after one game easing him back in off the bench? I can't imagine why he would wait on that.
Yeah.
Assuming that Kobe had no setbacks and feels no lingering pain or setbacks tomorrow after playing tonight.
I would imagine so. I mean, it's going to happen at some point. Part of the reason why I was thinking he may have pulled him off the bench today was just the matchup. They don't have a true center with Şengün out, so maybe he was trying to get Torrey Craig in there with Caruso so they could be a little bit more switchable on some off-ball screening actions. But you're going up against the Celtics next, so it's not really much of a better situation unless they decide to play with Horford and Porzingis together. I'm not sure what their scouting report and injury report is going to look like here, but I imagine he'll be back in the starting lineup sooner than later. Why wait?
Yeah, there's no reason to wait. I mean, especially this close to the end of the season. They're trying to move up in the standings or at least trying to prove their record. But, yeah, you want to get your at least second best player on your team back in there in that lineup. I'm just interested to see, does he move Ayo or does he put Kobe at the shooting guard? Because, again, you can get away with them at either one. And Ayo's been cooking where he is, but we all know Kobe's been cooking all season long. So do you mess with the hot hand and move him, or will it continue if you move him, or do you let Kobe come back and resume his position and maybe, he gets back going on his thing? But, yeah, again, you're about to play the best team in the league. You know what I mean? Like, record-wise, you're about to play the best team in the league in Boston, man. It would behoove you to have your best players out there, especially in the starting lineup, and not him coming off the bench.
I also am just ready for Torrey Craig to not be in the starting lineup anymore.
Get in my brain.
I mean,
that was going to be the next thing I wanted to ask.
Like, bless your heart, Torrey Craig, but he looked old and tired and hurt tonight,
bro.
Every time I saw him involved in a play, I was like, someone get Torrey Craig a Band-Aid and a nap.
And a blankie.
Yeah, I mean,
man, it was tough.
25 minutes, and obviously DeMar with the ejection played 24, but the rest, Vooch, Caruso, and Ayo all played 35 to 39. Torrey played 25 as a starter, and I felt like it was 20 too many.
Yeah, man, and he just like you said, he just looked old and slow out there. I wish I had better terms for it, but that's what he looked like out there against this young team. Like, he couldn't keep up. And it's wild because Jeff Green didn't look like that at all. Like Jeff Green looked like, no, this is where I belong.
Jeff Green was flying down the court in transition.
Yeah, going into guys
leaping,
and all that, man. Yeah.
Towards the basket.
I think there were times where the Bulls were without DeMar for the majority of the second half, right?
Yeah.
And you have Ayo and Kobe, who's coming back from injury, and Vooch. It's like not a lot of shot creation. And so, one, you're starving for that. You need to find ways to generate offense. And two, when somebody does generate offense, you have to keep the ball moving. You have to keep the advantage that you've created for yourself. So a lot of times what that results in is Torrey Craig driving on kickouts and attacking the center. And it's just not really his game. Right. And I know he's being asked to do that, and he does have to kind of do that in order to help the Bulls offense continue to run. But he's more of a catch and shoot guy. That's just what his offensive game is. And so when you start to ask him to do a little bit more because of the rest of the roster is falling apart and not existing for half these guys, it just, I think, can look bad at times. Yeah.
I think, and also he's good when he's trying to, turn those, he's good at turning those loose balls into 50-50 balls. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or the other team, turn those offensive rebounds into opportunities where the Bulls might get it. And we're seeing that few and far between, part of what you're saying, because he's being asked to kind of do something that they need him to do, but he's just not good, or it's not his game. I shouldn't even say not good at it. It's just not his game. Yeah. So, and then he's starting, and he struggled. He has always struggled in the starting lineup with the Bulls. You know what I mean? That's just been the case with Torrey Craig on this team, man. But
they tried it early this season when Billy had enough of Pat.
Yeah, did not work. Looked even worse, with him out there. So he's telling you where he is, but where the Bulls are can't dictate where he is comfortable. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he has to be in an uncomfortable position because they don't have a choice on a lot of nights. He's the only wing, like the true wing that we have. It's him, because even the young guy, Julian Phillips, isn't there. So he is being forced to play these things that he is not really good at, playing these minutes, guarding certain guys that he shouldn't be guarding in certain situations. And it's showing, you know what I mean, on those other ends, man. So Billy tries to cheat with Batum. And putting him in there, you know what I mean, getting those minutes. Dude, when Batum came in the game, Jalen Green was like lunch. Oh, he was like,
for real?
Right. Give me my bib, knife, and fork. He was ready to eat and scrum-diddly umptious. And he had to get Batum out of there and then get Torrey Craig back in and get Dalen Terry back in and these guys to tick. So, yeah, it's a tough situation for Billy, and it's a tough situation for Torrey Craig.
It's not just that, guys get more minutes when there are injuries. It's also, they get more responsibility. You can't just, come in off the bench and play 12 to 18 minutes a game and just be a spot-up shooter on this team right now because, they're missing their two best shot creators. They're missing Patrick Williams. They need somebody to generate some offense. And that's where Ayo has been super impressive these last few games. Yeah. But it's also where you see the shortcomings in the roster construction and obviously the injuries too. I mean, I don't want to take that away from them either. It's true. It's hard to create offense when you're missing Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan out there.
Right. You're too right. All right, create. You go do something, guys. What?
Will, I'm curious to get your thoughts on the double bigs. And I wanted to also give a shout out to our buddy Kevin Anderson over at NBC Sports Chicago. who said on Twitter today that he was issuing an immediate cease and desist to the double big lineup. And I know a lot of Bulls fans want to see more of that. Those people, we see you in our comments regularly. Play the double big lineup more. Our guy Bulldog pointed out tonight when they were on the floor together, and he was sick of it. The Bulls' defense with Drummond and Vooch on the floor together this season has a defensive rating of 123.6. That is the equivalent of not having a defense, allowing an opponent effective field goal percentage of 60.1.
Is that bad?
And then Bulldog, our guy, always backing up his ideas and thoughts with stats.
Facts.
And immediate examples. In the fourth quarter tonight, the Vooch-Drummond lineup took the floor together at the 8:46 mark, with the Rockets up 110-101. The double Vooch-Drummond pairing ended at the 5:32 mark of the fourth quarter. So 3 minutes and change. In that 3 minutes and change, the score was then 120-103.
There you go.
Houston dominated those minutes.
Yeah.
They, on the other hand, though, the Bulls dominated those minutes in the second quarter.
They did
and on
get
the night,
back.
They were +1.
Right.
In, I believe, 14 minutes and 45 seconds. So there's a lot of this, again, is out of necessity. Like, one of the things that happens is when you don't have a lot of shot creation, you're relying on offensive rebounding to be a source of shot creation in a sense. So if you're not necessarily going to get a good look at a shot up, you can just throw it up. And if you have two bigs out there, one of them is one of the greatest offensive rebounders of all time, you have a pretty good chance of getting another look in that possession. And I think that can be valuable at times. So I would not say I'm a fan of it. But right now, I mean, you're missing so many guys, and then DeMar's out of the game. You need something. And then the other thing is the matchups. Like, they are going to get absolutely worked on the defensive end, and we saw that today. It was 126 defensive rating when those two guys were on the court together. They're giving up a ton of stuff in transition because they're getting cross-matched, and now they're disorganized, and they don't know who's guarding who, and all of a sudden Dillon Brooks is running it down court for a wide-open layup, or Jeff Green, or whoever it was. So there's going to be time where that happens. Switching off the ball, having Vooch lock and trail guys running off of screens and stuff, not ideal, but they can generate a ton of offensive glass, offensive rebound stuff, and that has worked for them at times. So I don't love it just aesthetically. It's not really the kind of play that I like looking at, but it does have its merits at times, and I think a lot of it is still matchup dependent.
I mean, for the talk we did in pregame about the Bulls maybe using their size advantage tonight against a small Rockets team to try to make that happen, the Bulls did win points in the paint, but not by a huge margin, 54-46. And the Rockets won the three-point contest by 15 tonight. Let's take our last break, and then we will come back to wrap up with a few more thoughts and a super chat or two that I think we have coming in there. Big Dave, tell the fine people out there in Bulls Nation how they can chill if they need to after a Bulls loss like that.
Thank you for coming to me with this, Matt.
You're welcome.
You know I enjoy a good chilling.
Thank you for this.
Laying back, kicking up the dogs, means my feet, chilling out, and then cracking a frosty, cold filter, cold lager Coors Light. And then just watching this NCAA tournament, man. And then just enjoying it. All these games, man, from day to night.
So many.
So many.
I'm going to watch basketball for 12 hours tomorrow.
Oh, how attractive
None
is
of it's
that?
going to be the Bulls stressing me out.
How attractive is that sentence?
So good.
Oh, and he's going to be doing with some Frosty Coors Light, baby. So whether it's your team stressing you out or it's life in general, things can feel a little bit chaotic. But that's why Coors Light helps you find the moments to help you chill all year long. Oh, yeah. When the mountains turn blue, it's as cold as the Rockies. I like how I held that right there. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smooth finish. When it's time to chill, just open up that Coors Light, baby. It's mountain cold refreshment, crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. And, of course, that's the beer I reach for when it's time to chill. I'm going to reach for it. You see, that's why there's 3 of them there, one for each one of us. Because that's how we roll, ladies and gents. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/CHGO Bulls. That's CoorsLight.com/CHGO CHGO Basketball. Let me correct myself because I was chilling too hard. CoorsLight.com/CHGO Basketball. Coors Light. Elevate your chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Light Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Shout out to Juan Miller who's like, come on, guys, let's pick up these likes. That's right. You tell him, Juan. Hit that like button.
Likes.
Joe.
Troll Joe, where you at?
Where's Troll Joe demanding the likes?
You got to collect the likes.
He's busy.
What's your new theory, your new strategy? What do you call it?
The like spike.
The like spike.
Like spike?
I can't take credit for that. That's a hockey thing.
Oh, it's a hockey thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I took that from the.
He's explaining.
I apologize, Craig. I was unaware.
I thought it started with the What Chaos stream. They stole it. We stole it from them.
But
No.
but it is a hockey thing.
It's a hockey thing.
Bottom line.
The like spike.
Okay.
Just hit the.
Oh, we're going to do it. We just want to give credit. We just want to give credit
like
first.
or Troll Joe's coming for your thumbs. That's all you
right.
got to know.
It's true. It's
Troll
true.
Joe.
Yeah. If you want to threaten your Blackhawks viewers and listeners with Troll Joe, you feel free.
Yeah.
He collects those
Exactly.
thumbs. He's got to have it.
Speaking of Troll Joe, all the diehards know what's what with Troll Joe. They know.
do.
They know
They do.
he's an integral part of what we do here at CHGO. Speaking of which, wanted to give a shout out to some of our newest and or returning, signing up again, diehards over the past week, because we've been preaching it to you for a while. You know that there are some of the best perks of what we do here at CHGO, not only with our content, but engaging out in the community, our parties, our tailgates, watch parties, and takeovers. We got the CHGO Bears draft party coming up right around the corner.
Ooh-wee.
The Hawks guys have a Blackhawks takeover at the
Sold
Madhouse
out.
that's already sold out, coming up later at the end of the month.
Let's go.
Of course, our CHGO Bulls takeovers already this year that were a huge success. Shout out
Also
to
sold
everybody
out.
who came out with us for those. But then, of course, the great content from our team of reporters and writers, including this man wheel the goat right here,
Wow.
the GOAT 101 newsletter. The first of which was a great deep dive on some of the stuff Ayo's been doing offensively recently this season, which is for diehards only. Just like a lot of the NFL coverage of the draft coming up, the NBA draft stuff that we get early this summer, a lot of that will be for diehards. And of course,
Can I tease my next one?
Sure, please do.
Tease away.
I haven't finalized it yet, but it'll probably come out next week, and it's going to be about the Bulls post-up offense and whether it's actually such a simple game after all.
Oh,
I like how spicy that sounds.
That was a spicy
Well,
papaya.
tease for you.
It's a spicy papaya.
Spicy papaya.
Shout out Saymine. Shout out Chanowski. I've heard that it's a simple game. Will, are you saying that
I've also
it's
been told
not a
it's
simple
a
game?
simple game. I'm not sure. You'll have to read to find out.
Dave, do you
right.
think it's a simple game?
I mean, I've heard rumors.
I've heard.
I've heard things. You know what I mean?
You know, it's a simple decision.
I've seen fire and I've seen rain.
Oh, shout out JT, the original JT.
Yes, the original. Don't go into it, man. No, do not go. No, man. Don't do it. Do not do it. Do not do it. Shout out. James Taylor, shout out, sir.
Easy decision. Sign up to be a diehard. Of course, you also get access to that great CHGO Discord with a channel for each team for diehards only. That's where Dave and I pulled some of our fun mailbag questions from on
true.
yesterday's episode. Shout
Oh
out to
my
y'all who
gosh.
issued those.
Y'all are wild.
Deserted Island question was
Yo,
great.
man, that was
like
awesome.
truly great stuff.
Oh, man.
We had such different answers.
We did. Matt wants it out of spite.
Yeah.
Like, I hate
Dave
you.
was like, let's eliminate the biggest and
Yeah.
most dangerous threat
Yeah.
as a group.
So we can
first.
live for more
And I was
weeks.
like, who am I sick of right, now?
Get in my belly.
But yeah, so sign up to become a diehard. You know you want to. It's a great
Yes, you
value
do.
deal. It's literally, when you do the math for an annual membership, it's just a few pennies a day.
That's it.
Pennies a day.
That's it.
And shout out to our newest diehards this week, and get ready because it is a list, y'all. William, Robert, Kyle, John, Andrew, Ray, Mike, Keith, Michael, Daniel, Mike, Eric, so many Mikes, Jack, Nathan, Mike, Philip, Paul, Ryan, Austin, Joseph, Salvador, Jamil, Michael, Danny, Chad, Will, Steve again, Michael, Arvin, and Eric. Boom. Those are your new CHGO diehards for this week. Shout out to each and every one of y'all.
Thank you.
You want to be the on the list of names that we read next? Sign up.
Sign up, baby. Go
Join-
one-on-one.
join-
You
the
don't want
cool
to be
kids.
the idiot that at the Bears tailgate in the fall is like, hey, who's that? Like, who's that little 3-foot green thing by the beer cooler? They're like, dude, that's Troll Joey. What, are you not a
Troll
diehard?
Joe.
How do you not know that is? That's
Troll Joe. What is
join the
that?
diehards.
I can't wait till Troll Joe comes to life for
Oh
realsies.
my goodness, man!
It's gonna be the most magical day of my life.
Twitter page got to
Wait to watch Caleb Williams.
that too.
Joey, do we have a couple of super chats that we have to shout out to?
We have two super chats here.
Shout out to Cassie.
Cassie McCaskey with the black and white hearts here. Thank
Shout
you,
out.
Cassie, for the support. She's been in the comments.
Appreciate you, Cassie.
All night. She was-
I saw she was
was
part
in
of
the
the
pregame.
Excited for 500 club.
Yeah,
Yes.
she was
Bless
in
your
the
heart.
pregame. So love that. And
Larry, what's up, buddy?
Larry, covering my guy Joey because that ain't hitting.
I assume that's a reference to your prize pick selections.
That's probably true with my
He
luck
probably is
lately.
thinking what I told you, which is, hey, Zach Edey and the Boilermakers, you took the over on Purdue doing good things in the tourney.
Yeah,
That
believing in
it
him.
really pans out for you.
But what I am curious about with Larry is, Nevada was playing today.
Oh
Yeah, Nevada lost.
Yeah, and I was actually
they lost
and
7-10
Larry has a personal connection to Hunter McIntosh on Nevada.
Okay.
So I'm curious how he played today. Larry, if you're in the comments, let me know. It was a tough game.
They,
I had Nevada in my bracket, and they battled today. But
They,
I'm always thinking about you when the Wolfpack's
I was
playing.
watching it here at the office when I first walked in earlier this afternoon. They blew a 10-point lead in the second half. Nevada
that's not
did.
good. Not good.
Not great.
Not how you win.
Also, I love
I've
how
been told.
you talk about ones that choke, and we saw Kentucky lose today. They weren't a one, but
Yeah.
I love how North Carolina just came in and we're like, we're playing some school named Wagner. All right, cool. Let's win by 30.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to do it.
That's how you do it.
Larry said they lost. He was out with a knee
Yeah,
injury.
I'm looking at the box score right now. McIntosh didn't check in. He was hurt. That's why they lost.
17-point lead. Excuse me. Ouch.
Our friend Sarah's Kansas Jayhawks currently up 10, getting ready to tip off the second half against some school, Sanford and Sons.
Mumford and Sons?
Mumford, get that out of here. Get that hillbilly hipster shit out of here. Yeah, big day. Congrats to all of our Illini fans here at CHGO.
Yes.
Big
I'm
win.
happy they won.
Moving forward.
Moving forward.
We have such a huge day of college hoops on deck tomorrow.
Who are they playing?
So
Dune 2?
excited.
Who are they playing? Dune 2? Who are they playing?
Duquesne?
Duquesne, there you
yes,
go.
who got the upset today over BYU.
Like that, Joe?
I'm just curious on which game y'all want to watch the most tomorrow.
Run
I'm going to run through. Our guy Carm is going to be up and at him. Northwestern
yeah.
plays FAU. That's an 11:15 tip-off Central. We got Colgate Baylor in a
Up and Adam?
14-3. We got UAB San Diego State in the 12-5. Western Kentucky Marquette 2 seed.
I want to watch that.
We got Stetson versus number 1 UConn. Not feeling a whole lot of upset vibes there.
No, West Kentucky always surprises every time they get in the tournament, man. So
That is true.
I'm interested to watch that.
Also,
for sure.
UConn, defending champs,
Yeah.
trying to become the first back-to-back college champion since Billy Donovan
There you go.
and
Joakim Noah
You know he was getting there.
and the Florida Gators.
Yes.
Yeah, I just had to say Billy Donovan's name first to piss off all the Billy haters in the comments.
I don't get it.
Uh-oh.
Northwestern game tomorrow.
All he does is chew gum. All he does is
just
chew
don't
gum,
get
Will. He makes all the worst decisions. He never calls timeouts at the right times. He's dumb. He hates basketball. He hates his players. He hates everything. He's dumb.
I guess.
He's okay.
You realize that that's what some of you sound like, right? I love y'all so much, but the hate is out of control. We got New Mexico, Clemson. We got Yale, Auburn, Colorado,
playing next?
Florida, Texas A&M versus Nebraska.
Colorado, Florida, I want to watch.
Yeah.
Just out of respect for, DNVR crew. Shout out.
Hell
to them.
yeah! Shout out to them. Vermont taking on Duke. Duke currently Duke a 4 seed this year.
Duke.
Grambling 16, totally going to take down the number 1 seed Purdue. Charleston versus number 4 Alabama.
Bama.
Longwood is going to lose to Houston by 60. I'm guessing. We got James Madison versus Wisconsin. Wisconsin a 5 seed, another Big Ten team in there. TCU, Utah State, and then Grand Canyon versus St. Mary's. I did not know there was a school named Grand Canyon.
Canyon.
Is it located
Hey, Lawrence.
in the Grand Canyon?
Where's Grand Canyon?
It's in Detroit.
Okay. Is it
none of that
located
helps.
in the Grand Canyon? Huh?
With Bryce Drew as the coach? Nice. Okay.
I have a couple notes from the scuffle today.
Yeah.
So number one, did you guys see Ayo just casually pick up the ball and just start
It
shooting
was my
around?
favorite part of the whole thing. They were still like tearing people
They
off
were
of a pile,
literally
and Ayo just like strolled through the background. And he's like, "Oh, hey, the ball! I'm just gonna shoot the ball."
And number
Hoop is
two
hoop.
is I'm
Hoop is
sort of
hoop.
shocked that Chris Fleming wasn't right in the middle of it.
Hey,
Scrapping it up with
learned
people,
his
'cause
lesson.
There's a lot of assistant coaches in there, and it's getting heated. So I'm surprised that Fleming
Learned his lesson, man.
Fleming
Learned his
wasn't in
lesson.
He
there.
had to sit that one out.
Yeah,
I
man.
mean, you can only get choked so many times.
Yeah,
before-
and you got to bring it to Chris. You know what I mean? Chris ain't gonna start it, but he will finish it. That's
Man,
how
poor
Chris
John
rolls.
Collins. Do you see that Anthony Edwards dunk the other day?
Ooh, yeah, we were talking about it, man. Yeah, he's a special kind of
Gross.
player.
Hey, so Shay's saying Yale center will be an interesting undrafted free agent, 7-footer shooting 38% from free. The fun fact, he was a camper at the camp that I was a counselor
Hey,
at.
you got a
When he was a
7-footer at
younger
the
kid,
camp?
he was younger. He was a great basketball player when he was younger. He had a growth spurt. He's from the suburbs of Chicago, northern suburb area, and he's now 7 feet tall. And Danny Wolf, he's the leading scorer on Yale. He's good.
Nice,
So
man.
that's
Very cool.
flex.
All right. Hey, Joey. Hey, you see what Joey camps be turning out? That's how they get down, man. You go to Joey camp, you get a growth spurt, and you go play ball.
Yeah,
there.
I think he did credit me as helping.
Why wouldn't he?
On the low post,
Yes.
molding his game.
I mean,
Why wouldn't he, man? Got to go to Joey camp. you know what I
yeah.
mean? If dribble too much.
Uncle Joey's camp on Awana is the new G League Ignite.
That's right.
That's where you go to
That's right.
jumpstart your career.
Joey G League over here, baby.
Joey G League. All right, that's gonna do it for tonight. We appreciate y'all for hanging out with us, Bulls Nation. Tomorrow, Bulls are off, coming back home. They got a matchup on Saturday. But tomorrow, Goat, you and our pal Marquet have an HQ, yes?
We're back.
At what time?
Like they never left.
3:30, I believe.
3:30 Central.
Lawrence
Fresh
on
Bulls
production.
HQ live for y'all tomorrow. Tune into that with Will and our guy Marquet. Read everything Will writes, allchgo.com. Follow him, Will_Gottlieb.
101.
The Quaff, the gray hoodie. Our pal and producer, Joey
Quaff.
Spathers, at Joey Spathers. Big Dave, Bow, BAWL Sports, on Bulls_Pack. We are CHGO_Bulls. Thanks for all the comments. Appreciate the super chats.
No, thank you, Jesse.
For hanging out. The climb to 500. Sometimes they're 2 games. Sometimes they're 3 games. Sometimes they're 4 games. They're always 3 games. They're playing the Celtics on Saturday. Let's get back to 3 games where it's nice and comfortable. It's where they belong. For our crew here, hey, if you're still up and want more Chicago sports, we got our CHGO Hawks crew in the house. They are, I think, getting underway 3rd period, late night, playing out on the West Coast.
Ducks.
CHGO Blackhawks postgame live coming up later tonight. Keep it right here. Zero, be good.
Peace.